Hi, welcome to RCKicks. On today's show, well, there's big news coming out of Schumacher Racing. Yes, they've just dropped their LD3. Yep, their new two-wheel drive racing buggy that replaces the LD2. Now, the LD2 has been out for the best part of 2 years. Well, 2 years, 4 months to be precise. And that was a very successful buggy. But now they're going to drop the LD3. And there's 3 variants of it. We've got the mod spec one, we've got the stock spec one, and we've got the dirt spec one. Now this is quite a big thing for them because that's a lot of work, and they are quite different. They're not just a small little change. I've been going through the specifications of it. What I'll also do is I'll put up all the specifications if you want to pause the video, because there's quite a lot of changes and I picked out just a few, otherwise I'll be waffling on for ages and this video will be really boring. But it's something to be really excited about. I think they've actually pushed the boat out on this one and actually really put a lot of effort into these 3 different versions. Now, the release dates are staggered, you can kind of understand, because they're releasing 3 basically separate kits. So you're looking at the 24th, the 2nd and the 9th of the 11th. So there's a reasonable couple of weeks difference. I'm guessing that's just due to logistics stuff of boxing them all up and getting them out of the factory. So the first one is the mod spec. That's the 24th of the 10th, 2023. That's being released. Now that's £389.99. Again, prices are different. 2 of them are the same price. One is more expensive, but we'll come on to that. Now the mod spec, which is K208, this is the carpet / astroturf one. More forward motor position, has a lay-down transmission. Front end enables a 0 to -5 wheelbase length. What does that roughly mean? Well, it means you can change your wheelbases depending on the tracks without going and getting yourself another chassis. I just did a chassis swap on my RC10 B6.4 just for this reason. So that really will save you the effort of having to swap a chassis if you're dialing in for a very tight track, or you're looking for much more legs for a lot faster sweeping track. Another big one that we see, yes, they've gone up to 13mm shocks, chasing along the B6.4 that's been really successful with those 13mm shocks. Now the second variant that you get is the stock spec. Now this is going to cost you a few pennies more at £399.99. But why is it stock spec and more expensive? Well, that's not really what they mean. It's not a bare bones version. This is a lightweight version, so you can run a stock motor class in it. So they've put much more carbon fiber into it. You get a carbon fiber motor mount, you get a slipper clutch delete, so you get a slipper lockout and a 71 teeth spur gear. Carbon field transmission housing, so I'm guessing this is what's going to add a bit of lightness to it, and it's got the 13mm shocks like the others. So this one, I quite like this one. And the third option is the dirt spec. Now you're going to be paying the same as the mod spec one, £389.99. This is going to be released last, which is on the 9th of the 11th, 2023. What I can kind of understand is really we've missed the summer. We're all now going back indoors. So this one's really going to be selling towards, you know, springtime 2024. Shame they kind of just missed this. If it had been a little bit earlier, people would have probably grabbed that one, where it's probably going to be a better seller later next year. Now, the main difference with this one is it has the layback gearbox. That moves the transmission 6mm back over the rear wheels to give you better traction on the slippery stuff. Also, it has longer rear CVD drive shafts at 69.5mm. Also, it has other things like the pinion and spur cover to protect you from all that grass and debris. So I'm super tempted to get myself one so I can compare it against my B6.4. But which one do I get? Do I get the mod spec one, which would be the sort of normal way to go, as that's for Astro and for carpet, and I race on indoor carpet. So there's that. But thinking maybe I should go down the stock spec route. All I would have to do is really change and fit a slipper back into it. Then I could run a hotter motor on it, and then I would have the lightweight aspects of the car with a faster motor. I don't know, is that a better way to go with the carbon chassis? It's a bit like what I've just done with my B6.4. I've actually just fitted the shorter dirt chassis to it. So some people say that it actually rotates better on tighter indoor tracks, which is what I race on. So sometimes going for slightly different versions actually gives you better performance. I honestly don't know, and obviously being that it's just dropped, I don't know if that's a good idea or not, so comment below, let me know what you think. And I've got some Tamiya update news for you and some images that have just dropped. First one being the MB-01. Now we've just got to see some images of it coming out on the Julia Sprint, which is basically what I've got here, but it's the GTA Club Racer Edition, so it's a different livery. Yeah, I quite like it. I think they've done a good job of it. I am so tempted to get the decal sheet when it releases and put some of them on this one. It's a beautiful car and it'd be quite interesting to see how it runs on the MB-01. Now you can currently get the M06 version of it, which is this one basically, and that's £149. So it'd be interesting to see what price point this version comes out on the MB-01. But I'm assuming it's going to be very much along the same sort of price lines that we saw the Abarth 1000. The second one is the Super Sabre 2023. Now we haven't got long to wait for this. It's coming next month, due on the 27th of November 2023. Now some people have been put off a little bit as it's actually a fully painted, fully constructed body. You just got to put the decals on. Now the Super Sabre has a funny kind of body where it's actually two parts that stick together, and apparently that's all done for you. So you're looking at £219 and I'd like to get one on the show, but it looks like the next couple of months are going to be quite expensive, and I just don't think I've got the budget for that amount of kits. Also, the first images of the TC01 Mercedes-Benz 1997 have come out. Well, there's nothing too exciting to see. It's just a box image. But we kind of knew because that body's been out a million times already, but it's really nice to see the TC01 getting a little bit of love, and that body does fit that chassis quite nicely. So I'm guessing it's going to be a reasonable seller. Still don't have a price, still no ETA on when it comes out, but we'll just have to wait and see. Me personally, I'm just going to buy the body set and fit it to my TC01. Another one that's just dropped that I'm really interested in is the Arrma Gorgon. This is a 1/10 basher. I really liked it, didn't know much about it, started to see some footage coming out of it. Basically, you can get a ready-to-run variant of it, and you can also get a kit version. Why do I like it so much? Well, I love the look. It's real kind of like monster trucky, bashy, but also the price point. These are really good value, £154 to £179, and you get different variants of it. Now, I think this is a brilliant one for a younger kind of RC fan, as those price points are a bit more realistic. We're not up in the £300-400. So I'm tempted to get one on a show, but I'm not sure whether I'll go for the ready to run or get the kit version. The kit version is kind of constructed for you, so you're not doing a massive build, you're not building up your shocks and your diff, they come pre-done, you've just got to all fit it together, so we'll have to see. A few little updates for you on the Yokomo YZ-870c, catchy, super dogfighter. Prices now, we have got confirmation, we are looking at £499, £500, which I kind of thought was the maximum it should really be. Any more than that and I think it's going to put off a lot of people. Even £500 is pushing it, being that we did see in Japan they're looking at 350, so that's a big hike to get it in the UK, but it is a super classic. Also, some of the things that we're hearing about this car, that they're actually going to upgrade all the driveline, and that's going to make the car perform better, but they're really going to try and focus on the vintage looks with the rims and tyres. I really like that philosophy, that you're making the buggy actually better, but it definitely looks the part as well. And being that that's like the first one from Yokomo, I'm pretty sure we're going to see more going on the footage we saw at the show last week. Now, the ETA is still the 31st of December, so missing Christmas. So if you are thinking about getting this one, you're going to have to sit on it, sit on that money and wait until after Christmas before you splash your money. Bit of a shame it didn't come out in the end of November, as I think more units would sell, as there's a lot coming out for Christmas and it's very tempting to take that money and spend it on something else. I still think it's going to be a massive success for Yokomo, and hopefully, going on some of the comments that we saw on the trade shows, it won't be the last re-release. So what else could they bring out? they have an exciting bunch of other vintage cars, so we'll just have to wait and see, but it's looking really promising. Come on, Team Associated, get with the re-releases of some of your vintage classics, please, in 1/10 scale. And the last one on the list is the little update for the Kyosho Optima Mid 87 Worlds Spec 60th Anniversary. God, the names of these are getting longer and longer. Now, the ETA on this, we haven't got very long to wait at all. That's the 30th of the 11th, 2023. So this is perfectly in time for Christmas. And you're looking at £459. So I think this one's going to sell really well. Also, I've heard through the grapevine that Kyosho have stopped the amount they're actually delivering as they've hit their numbers. So I think this one's going to sell out really fast and hopefully be a big success for them. So if you're going to get one of those, I wouldn't hang around too much. Anyway, thanks so much. Please like and subscribe. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.